So today, welcome everybody for this morning's very special event today. If I'm not mistaken, Srila Prabhupada highlighted Nrsimha Caturdasi as one of the most important festivals of the year, along with Janmashtami, Guru Purnima, Ratha Yatra, Govardhan Puja, and Nrsimha Caturdasi. These are the primary, there are many festivals, but primary ones. Of course, here we have Lord Balaram, so we have a special localized emphasis on that festival. But Nrsimha Caturdasi is one of those special days. And maybe, again, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but pretty much the festival days of the year, the major ones, we fast until a certain time, mostly till noon. But on Janmashtami, and Prabhupada said 2 days actually, Janmashtami and Gaur Purnima, we fast and we have Ekadashi Prasadam, but only those 2 days was it emphasized that we had Ekadashi Prasad. So it doesn't have to be Ekadashi Prasad. And the feast on Lord Nrsimhadev is usually at the point of when Lord Nrsimhadev appears. And when does he appear? That's a good question. Well, does he appear at dusk? That's a good question. Pardon?
The twilight between day and night.
No, that's when he kills Hiranyakashipu. So, does he appear simultaneously to killing, or is it 24-hour battle going on? I don't think so. I don't know if there's any mention. We don't usually even think about it or mention it, but it's an interesting point that, well, we don't use logic really in a sense of the Lord's pastimes, but from a logical perspective, one would assume that he appeared before dusk. Maybe he appeared about 15 minutes ago. He did, but we didn't see him. But maybe he's about to burst out of the column, we don't know. After all, dusk in India anyway is like 6 o'clock. 6:30 their time. It's about 3 o'clock our time, I guess. Anyway, whatever. It's nice to fast until dusk and celebrate the Tirobhav of Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu Tirobhav Mahamahotsav Ki Jai! Well, in one sense, that's what it is. He's no ordinary person either. So anyway, today is this wonderful event, Lord Nrsimhadev's appearance day. And the world certainly needs it at the moment. At every moment, the mercy of Lord Nrsimhadev in various forms is very much needed. So I guess we'll start with traditional start by singing some glorious prayers of Lord Nrsimhadev. Kartals, Madanga. We can meditate now. Of course, the festival in Mayapur will be, I guess the morning program's over now, isn't it? Yeah. And there'll be Kirtan, maybe getting ready for Abhishek. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe Abhishek taking place now. Pardon? Abhishek. Yeah. So they may be going on right now in Mayapur. And also, of course, not so far from here, some of you have been to Singhachalam in Germany. Dhananjaya's, anyone else has been there? Gandharika, Bhima. A few devotees have been to Singhachalam in Germany, where there is also a deity of Lord Nrsimha, Palad Nrsimha. deity there. I'm sure they're having a big festival there today. And other places they have deities of Nrsimhadev too, and we have here a small deity. Some places have big deities. But it doesn't matter, big or small. Lord Nrsimhadev, you can't measure Lord Nrsimhadev. Unlimited. Hare Krishna. Shri Nrsimha, Jai Nrsimha, Jai Jai Nrsimha. Shri Nrsimha, Jai Nrsimha, Jai Jai Nrsimhadev. Paladesha Jaya Padma, Mukha Padma Bringa. Paladesha Jaya Padma, Mukha Padma Bringa. Shri Nrsimha, Jai Nrsimha, Jai Jai Nrsimhadev. Shri Nrsimha, Jai Nrsimha, Jai Jai Nrsimhadev. Paladesha Jaya Padma, Mukha Padma Bringa. All glories to Lord Nrsimhadev. All glories to Lord Nrsimhadev, who is the Lord of Prahlad Maharaj. And like the honeybee is always engaged in beholding the lotus-like face of the goddess of fortune. Spoken by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we're probably familiar with this one, but well, it's nice. You're familiar. Namaste Nrsimhaya. Prahlada Lada Daine. Hiranyakashipo Vakshaha. Shila Tanka Nakaye. Ito Nrsimha, Parato Nrsimho. Ito yato yamitato Nrsimha. Vahe Nrsimho, Vidaye Nrsimho. Nrsimham Ading Sharanam Prapade. This is also chanted by Lord Nrsimhadev, by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Tavakara Kamala Varena Kamad Bhutta Shringang. Dalita Hiranya Kashipu Tanobringam. Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Tavakara Kamala Varena Avutta Shinga. Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanobringa. Nrsimhadev Bhagavan ki jai. It's nice to sometimes see the words Because a lot of the times we mispronounce or the words quite a lot, in fact. It's nice to look sometimes and check ourselves. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of half man, half lion, all glories to you. Just as one can easily crush a wasp between one's fingernails. Oh. I don't know if that's so easy. So in the same way, the body of the wasp-like demon Hiranyakashipu has been ripped apart by the wonderful pointed nails on your beautiful lotus hands. I offer my most humble obeisances to Lord Nrsimhadev, who gives joy to Prahlad Maharaj, and whose nails are like chisels on the stone-like chest of the demon Hiranyakashipu. Lord Nrsimhadev is here and also there. Wherever I go, Lord Nrsimhadev is there. He's in the heart and is outside as well. I fully surrender unto Lord Nrsimhadev, who is the origin of all things and is the supreme refuge. Lalita Madhava Prabhu, maybe a chair for Lalita if he needs one. And if I was getting a large crowd. There's one there also. Can you all hear Dhananjaya? You can hear? Jai Nrsimhadev Bhagavan Ki Jai. Ugram Viram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvatomakum Nrsingham Vishnum Badram Vishnam Badram Mithya Mityum Namamyaham. I bow down to Lord Nrsimhadev, who is ferocious and heroic like Lord Vishnu. He is burning from every side. He is terrific, auspicious, and the death of death personified. Oh, who can overcome death? So remember Lord Nrsimhadev, who can overcome death. It's interesting, death is more than just the physical death. In a sense, death can be applied to when we forget Krishna, when we start to embrace anarthas, unwanted desires, when we become attached to the enemies within our hearts, whom Lord Nrsimhadev can destroy. Before we can talk about developing a relationship with Krishna more than endeavoring to serve, we have to clear away the hearts, right? And Lord Nrsimhadev is there to help us. He's here, there, and everywhere. We just have to call him. This is why he has a very special role. Unfortunately, some people may misunderstand the role of Lord Nrsimhadev and think that he's not in the same rasa. Why are we talking about Lord Nrsimhadev? Huh? Let's talk about Radha and Krishna. What can we talk about Radha and Krishna? We can repeat what we've heard a little bit. Otherwise, it's maybe, I don't want to get into it. Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj gets quite strong about persons who think they can enter into the Katha of Radha and Krishna in a detailed way when they are still possessing anarthas. The anarthas have to be destroyed. Part of the process is to repeat, according to the acharyas, what they've given us, but not to go beyond our level of, you could say, maturity. For sure, we need some help to cleanse our hearts. So, Lord Nrsimhadev appears for this reason, and Prabhupada has made this quite clear in our movement how important Lord Nrsimhadev is. We chant his pranams. Well, maybe we don't. Depends if you attend the arti or not. And it depends if we stay for the end of the arti or not. But we used to chant. There's 6 artis a day. I think 6 in the temple. 6 or 7. And we used to chant after every arti. Not that Prabhupada said we had to, it just became a kind of a custom, you know. But certainly after Mangal Arti, noon Arti, and evening Arti, we used to chant. And before going on any journey, we used to chant Namaste Nrsimha, Bala Dai. We used to chant before starting our daily services. Always realizing we need. It's easy to become overwhelmed with the false ego. The root of all of our problems, or the block of our advancement in spiritual life, you could say. False identity, which manifests in these various enemies: lust, greed, anger, envy, illusion, and madness. So Lord Nrsimhadev wants to remove these enemies from our heart. We just have to allow him, or call for him, for his mercy. Did we read this one? Yes?
No.
Bhagisha yasya vadane lakshmir yasya cha vakshasi yasyaste hridaye samvit tang nrsimham aham bhanje. Lord Nrsimhadev is always assisted by Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and he is always embracing to his chest the goddess of fortune, Mother Lakshmi Devi. The Lord is always complete in knowledge within himself. Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto Lord Nrsimhadev. You can see the references at the end. Palada vilayaladam bhakta vidya vidaranam sharadindu ruching bande parindra vadanang harim. Let me offer my most humble obeisance, respectful obeisances unto Lord Nrsimhadeva, who is always enlightening Prahlad Maharaj within his heart, and who always kills the nescience that attacks the devotees. His mercy is distributed like moonshine, and his face is like that of a lion. Let me offer my most humble obeisances unto him again and again. Ugra pyanugra evayam svabhaktanam nrikeshari keshariva svapotanam anyeshang ugra vikramaha. Although very ferocious, the lioness is very kind to her cubs. Similarly, although very ferocious to non-devotees like Hiranyakashipu, Lord Nrsimhadev is very, very soft and kind to devotees like Prahlad Maharaj. A lot of these verses are quoted by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He visited on his pilgrimage or his preaching mission in South India. He visited many temples of Lord Nrsimhadev. And there are many temples of Lord Nrsimhadev in South India. Some of you may have been to Ahobalam. You've been there? Anyone else been to Ahobalam? Or if some hand went up from behind Mother Vishesha there.
I've been a few places, but I don't remember
You may have been.
That's where is the column now, Laurent?
So they say. And another famous temple in Vishakhapatnam. Some of you may have been there also. And there are many other famous temples. I can't remember the names in South India. Lord Chaitanya visited many of these places in ecstasy. He would dance and chant the glories of Lord Nrsimhadev. Very intimately connected, we'll see in a minute, to those on the path of, even on the path of Madhurya Ras, at least aspiring for that. On the path of pure bhakti, Lord Nrsimhadev's position is very significant. We're going to read one or two verses from the Bhagavatam in the 5th canto. These are prayers of Lord Nrsimhadeva and the residents of Harivarsha. This chapter is the residents of Jambudweep offer their prayers to the Lord. Now, in different islands on the plain of Jambudweep, the devotees worship the Lord in different forms. So in Harivarsh, headed by Prahlad Maharaj, they worship Lord Nrsimhadev. And this is one famous verse. Many devotees chant this verse regularly. If you want to, you can also incorporate it into our daily sadhana, not collectively, but individually. Om, all together. Om Namo Bhagavate Nrsimhaya. Namaste Tejase Avir Bhava Vajranaka Vajradangshtra Karmashayan Randaya Tamo Grasa Om Swaha Abhayam Atmani Bhuyishta Om Shram. Seed mantra. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Nrsimhadeva, the source of all power. O my Lord, who possesses nails and teeth just like thunderbolts, kindly vanquish our demon-like desires for fruitive activity in this material world. Please appear in our hearts and drive away our ignorance, so that by your mercy we may become fearless in the struggle for existence in this material world. This is a very important, you could say, personal appeal to Lord Nrsimhadev. Sometimes we think of when we chant the prayers to Lord Nrsimhadev to protect the movement, to protect our spiritual masters, etc. But this prayer, Prahlad, is a very personal one that is not like, please protect me from my enemies out there, this one and that one. This devotee who's giving me a hard time. Please protect me from the demons. But Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj said, yes, but we have to see who is a demon. And when I look at myself, it's me. Because I'm still embracing demon-like thoughts, demon-like behavior. Pride, arrogance, envy, lust, greed, so on. Anger. And therefore, in this prayer, Prahlad Maharaj is emphasizing the need to cleanse our consciousness of these enemies in the heart. We're not going to talk on this verse we're going to go on to, okay. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written 5 beautiful prayers in the Sri Navadvip Bhava Taranga for receiving the mercy of Lord Nrsimhadev. Some of you know this. These prayers are certainly assurance to all sincere devotees that the worship of Lord Nrsimha is purely in the line of aspiring love and devotion to Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, an eternal Manjari, most intimate associate in Radha Krishna's pastimes, is approaching Lord Nrsimhadev. You could say on our behalf, as you wish, but he's doing it especially in Nrsimhapali. If you've been there, Nrsimhapali, have anyone been there? In Navadvip Dham, yeah, on the Parikrama, we go there every year. You should go on Parikrama. Amazing place, very special atmosphere there, and amazing deity. And it's not very clear, but he's very special deity of Lord Nrsimhadev. Anyway, that's another story. Yeah, very old, eternal, in one sense. So maybe one day, if you haven't been, maybe one day you'll go there. And in this mood, Bhaktivinoda Thakur offers these prayers. I didn't look at it. I don't have the diacritic marks, so we won't be pronouncing it well. But we'll try to chant it. He dushta kama adi ripachaya kutinati patishtasa satya sadaraya vidhaya sodana ara krishna ravasana nrsimha charane morahe toma kamana. Within my sinful heart, the 6 enemies, headed by lust, perpetually reside, as well as duplicity. Just try to take this on board, see in our own hearts, look within our own hearts. And if we think we're free from it, we have a really big problem. And if we think we're not free from it, we have another problem. Either way, we need to take shelter of Lord Nrsimhadev. It's actually fortunate if we recognize we do have these problems, because there's a good chance of change. But if we don't recognize it, it's going to be very difficult to make genuine progress. Within my sinful heart, the 6 enemies headed by lust perpetually reside, as well as duplicity, the desire for fame, plus sheer cunning. At the lotus feet of Lord Nrsimha, I hope that he will mercifully purify my heart and give me the desire to serve Lord Krishna. Kanya Nrsimhapade Magibo Kakana Nirapadi Navadvipe Jugala Bhajana Baya Baya Payayana Darshine Sehari Prasana Hoibo Kapi More Dayakari. Weeping, I will beg at the lotus feet of Lord Nrsimhadev for the benediction of worshipping Radha and Krishna in Navadvip, perfectly safe and free from all difficulties. When will this Lord Hari, whose terrible form strikes fear into fear itself, ever become pleased and show me his mercy? Yadyapi Vishanamoti Dushta Jiva Prati Paladadi Krishna Bhakta Jani Badrahati Kabivapasana Hoye Sakripa Vachane Nirbhaya Karibe Muda Kinchane. Even though Lord Nrsimhadev is terrifying toward the sinful souls, he offers great auspiciousness unto the devotees of Lord Krishna, headed by Prahlad Maharaj. When will he be pleased to speak words of compassion unto me, a worthless fool, and thereby make me fearless? This is one of the main aspects of Lord Nrsimhadev, is to awaken fearlessness. And as long as we're on the bodily platform of life, identifying ourselves with our mind and body and the condition which we are finding ourselves in, then fear and various other, let's say, unwanted reactions tend to take place. The Lord Nrsimhadev can clear this away, release us. The real death is when we identify ourselves with the body as a sannyasi or as a guru or whatever it may be, a man, a woman, and so many identifications are there. We may have to act according to the bodily position, but not that we are attached or adamantly conditioned to identify ourselves with those particular situations. Svachande Vaisyo He Vatsa Sri Goranga Dame Yugala Bhajana Ho Rati Ho Name Mama Bhakta Kripa Vale Vigna Jabe Duro Sura Chite Bhajo Radha Krishna Rasapura Radha Krishna Rasapura. He will say, dear child, sit down freely and live happily here in Sri Gauranga Dham. May you nicely worship the divine couple, and may you develop loving attachment for their holy names. By the mercy of my devotees, all obstacles are cast far away. With a purified heart, just perform the worship of Radha and Krishna, for such worship overflows with sweet nectar. So having the mercy of Lord Nrsimhadev, removing all of these unwanted obstacles on our path, blocking us from genuinely existing for the pleasure of Radha and Krishna. It's not just about reading about it, it's actually the consciousness in which we exist. Our consciousness, simply the soul exists for the pleasure of Radha and Krishna, not for our own pleasure. So Lord Nrsimhadev can remove whatever obstacles may be there, whatever attachments, illusions, unfortunate, whatever we may be covered by, before we can take. Even in Krishna Lila we see more or less, not entirely simultaneous, but demons are being killed from day one. Pretty much from day one. Huh? Putana, Trinavarta, Shakatasura, and so on and so forth. Right from the beginning, demons are coming in our tender devotional service, or even though we may have given up eating various things, meat and this and that, and we've stopped smoking cigarettes and drinking liquor and so on, and we've stopped having, illicit sex and no more gambling and so on, and we're saying Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, still demons may come, huh? I'm such a good devotee. Yes, I'm a Brahmin. Listen to me. I have learned so many things. I've been in the movement half a second longer than you. Bow down. Who do you think you are? I'm such a good book distributor. Oh, no, Prabhu, please don't say that. No. Oh, no, someone is saying, Prabhu, you're such a good devotee. No, I'm not. No, I'm the most fallen, Prabhu. Please keep telling me how good I am. Oh, no, I'm the most fallen. Sometimes when we're challenged, we become angry. So many things. Still, there's a little work to do before we can genuinely enter into pure devotional service, at least in the mood of following in the footsteps of the Goswamis. E bole kabe mora mastako par, Sviya Shri Charana Harshi Daribe Ishwar. Om Mani Jugala Preme Satvika Vikare Dadaya Lutibo Ame Shri Nrsimha. Saying this, would that Lord delightedly place his own divine lotus feet upon my head? I will experience sublime love for the divine couple, Radha and Krishna, and understand the ecstatic transformations called Sattvika Bhav. Falling on the ground, I will roll about at the door of Sri Nrsimhadev's temple. Pretty far out. So those are just some prayers which Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has shared with us to meditate on and help us to maybe realize that, humility is a very important part of devotional service. Serving the Vaishnavas selflessly, willingly, enthusiastically is practical aspect, you could say, of developing or awakening, evoking the mercy of the Lord to remove these anarthas. Sometimes we think we should only be served, but our role is only to serve, not to be served. Our role is to love, to give, to serve, not to get. Or be loved is also there, but that's not our objective goal. Or to be served. It's not our objective goal, is to serve, love our spiritual master and the Vaishnavas, and to give. Give our hearts, our time, our everything in the service of the Lord and his devotees. The next verse of Prahlad Maharaj praise is of a different mood. It's the same mood, you could say, but expanding. Once the heart has been softened, cleansed, purified, then Svasya stutu vishvasya kalapasitatam jayantu bhutani shivam mitodiya manascha badrang bhajatadadhokshaje aveshatam no matir apyohetuki. Compassion for all living entities naturally awakens. When will that day come? Bhaktivinoda Thakur in this song, Kabi habi bolo sedin hamar, aparada guchi shudaname ruchi, kabi hali. And he goes on. When, oh when will that day be mine? Offenses for the name, offenses in the heart, when will they be removed? Taste for the name increasing. When, oh when in my heart will your mercy shine? He prays, please remove these offenses so I can actually chant your name purely. And when that purity develops, then compassion for the living entities awakens. So the same thing here. May there be good fortune throughout the world, the universe, and may all envious persons be pacified. He's not thinking, those envious persons, crush them, kill them. Sometimes we do. I didn't put those verses in there, a little striking for newcomers. There are some verses, kill, kill, flash, flash, smash, smash. It goes on and on. But again, we apply these things in our own heart. I don't think I put them in. No, I think we left them out. But there are many such strong sounding prayers to Lord Nrsimhadev. But again, it's really meant to apply to our own heart, not everybody else out there. Kill the demons. And here we see Prahlad is saying, may all envious persons be pacified. May all living entities become calm by practicing bhakti yoga. It's our mission to somehow or another to try to give everyone a chance to engage in bhakti yoga. For by accepting devotional service, they will think of each other's welfare. Therefore, let us all engage in the service of the Supreme Transcendence, Lord Sri Krishna, and always remain absorbed in thought of him. Nice prayer. So, I don't know, what time is already 8:30, is it? What time is daily worship? Daily? Oh, okay. We might have time. Let's see. So I've started here with the last verses, actually, in the many chapters of Lord Nrsimha's pastimes. Other than Krishna's pastimes in the 10th canto, there are no other avatars or forms of the Lord mentioned in the Bhagavatam who are mentioned as much as Lord Nrsimhadev, right? What do you think? Bhava Sindhu Prabhu? There are many, many chapters in the Bhagavatam about Lord Nrsimhadev, more than any other person, huh? 10 chapters, okay. 10. 10 chapters, and quite long, on the pastimes of, or the appearance of Lord Nrsimhadev and Prahlad Maharaj. Almost 2 volumes. These 2 volumes here are almost entirely about Lord Nrsimhadev's appearance, almost entirely. So it's very significant. Shukadeva Goswami put a lot of emphasis on this. Do we have enough devotees cutting up vegetables? Are you okay there? We have enough? You're doing okay there? What have you been? Knocking off the local neighbor's broad beans or something? Huh? What type of beans? Some kind of beans. Has beans. Broad beans, yeah. We should grow broad beans. Easy to grow. So there's a benediction here given by Sukadeva Goswami to those who read this pastime or hear it. And this is what he says. So this is pretty much at the end of those 10 chapters. One who hears and chants this narration about the omnipotence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, is certainly liberated from material bondage without fail. This particular narration about Lord Nrsimhadev, freed from bondage without fail. Prahlad Maharaj was the best among exalted devotees. Anyone who with great attention hears this narration concerning the activities of Prahlad Maharaj, the killing of Hiranyakashipu, and the activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Nrsimhadeva, surely reaches the spiritual world where there is no anxiety. No matter whatever our relationship with Krishna may be, this pastime is like open the gates to our goal of life, ultimate goal. Otherwise, we hear about it, but we're still on the other side of the door. This helps us to cross over that threshold. And talking about gates, we'll now begin. The gates of Vaikuntha. Dear me, look at those little boys there. I mean, it's common in India. Little boys walk around naked, but, not so common in France, I think. Huh? I don't know what the situation is. Maybe in some of the suburbs of Paris, I'm not sure, but so you don't generally see it very often. Not in public, anyway. Anyway, some of you are not familiar with this story, but this story is quite a common story, a famous story. You see there are 4 little boys there. Hopefully you can see it. I think you can. 4 little boys, and other than their Brahmin threads, I think that they are naked. Yeah, they are there also. And they're trying to get into the temple. The front door. Is it the front door of our temple here? No. This is the gates of Vaikuntha. Now, Vaikuntha means the place of no anxiety, huh? Literal translation. And why have they gone? What are they doing there? What are they doing there? Huh?
I don't know, they want to come in.
They want to come in. Well, they're kind of interesting. They're almost in. There are 7 main gates with guards on the gates. And they've passed through 6 gates. This is the 7th gate. And what do they want? What are they? Okay, you can say they're wandering around like little boys do, you know, adventurer. They're not ordinary boys. Who are they? Great sages named? 4 Kumaras. And who are they? What's their position in the universe? Yeah, mental sons of Lord Brahma. And they refused to get married. Lord Brahma wanted them to help populate the universe. They were his sons. He said no. They didn't want to get entangled. So, you know, they stayed like little boys, actually. Lord Brahma became very angry, but nonetheless, they didn't budge. They stayed as little boys. Why? Because little boys, 5-year-old-ish, they don't have the desire for sex. You know, if let's stay like this, then we don't have to worry about that one. We can concentrate on spiritual life, huh? Yeah, we have a different challenge. We still have desire. But they were completely absorbed. They were Brahman. They were so advanced. Although they looked like little boys, they were self-realized souls. They'd realized their spiritual identity. They had a role to play. And they had their own disciplic succession, Vaishnava disciplic succession, Kumar Sampradaya. Brahman realized that generally speaking it's understood that they had not understood the actual nature of the personality of Godhead fully, but they had an attraction. They wanted to see Lord Narayan. So they were on their way. They were thinking to go to Vaikuntha. And because they were completely pure, nobody stopped them. The other guards at the other gates, just little boys. It used to be like that. I don't know if it probably isn't anymore. But when I was a kid, I remember, and like about this age, there was maybe a 99, if I'm not mistaken, houses in the street I lived in. We didn't make the 100. If we made the 100, we may have become Indra, isn't it? But 99 houses. And we could wander in. None of the doors were locked. We could go into any house we wanted. And everybody welcomed us with, you know, a cup of orange juice and a biscuit and some chocolates. It was fun. We wander around, you know, here and there. No, generally speaking, I can't remember ever being stopped. Maybe we were. But it was like that. Everyone's a kind of open door, you know. Little boys and girls. Girls perhaps were a little bit more, I don't know, I can't remember because I was with the boys, but I don't know if they did the same thing, I don't know. But we did. And nowadays, I doubt whether that happens. Things have changed. Doors are locked. Dogs are barking. Warnings are there. And so on. People are not so open. But anyway, the 7th gate suddenly. Stop. Red light. You can't come in. No entry. What is this? The boys did think. Who are these personalities who are behaving in such a unbecoming way of representatives of Lord Narayan? How are they seeing duplicity like this? Do you think we've come here to cause harm to Lord Narayan? That he's going to be disturbed by us? They became a little bit surprised and angry. because someone was getting in the way of their goal, which was to see Lord Narayan. Who do these people think they are? Well, they happen to be the eternal gatekeepers of Lord Narayan, but still, they were thinking like this, and they became angry, and they cursed them. They got angry. You don't deserve to be here. Go away from this place. How can gatekeepers of the Lord, how can residents of Vaikuntha behave the way you do? You're not fit to stay here. And they cursed them. Whilst that curse is said, I mean, there's Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives a lot of commentaries on this pastime, quoting from the Sandarbhas, quoting from Jiva Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti, etc. That curse was a great blessing, and he used it in the sense that when one gets cursed by a devotee, it's a great blessing because that curse will remove the anarthas from our heart. So many reactions and anarthas get removed if we accept it. They accepted it. Actually, Jiva Goswami describes that this is all of this was completely, absolutely the arrangement of Lord Narayan. It was his arrangement to enact many, many different reasons and very many pastimes, and also to teach us lessons. So, of course, Lord Narayan, another aspect of this, they were prevented, as Haridas Thakur was prevented, it wasn't so much prevented, but didn't go into the temple of Jagannath. The Lord would come to him every day and give him darshan. So when one is such a great devotee, so the Lord came to give his darshan personally to the Kumaras. They didn't even have to go in. He came to the gates himself for this reason. And the story goes, of course, he calmed things down and said, well, I'm sorry, what's happened? My gatekeepers, they've made a mistake. I'm sorry for that. But you cursed them, so I have to fulfill that curse. So give you a choice. What do you want to do, boys? 7 births as devotees, 3 births as demons. And this is the story here. They conferred with each other. Okay, 3 births sounds better than 7. Quick return back to Vaikuntha. Only 3 times. Of course, it was a long 3. But they chose 3. All the Lord's arrangement. They never really became demons. Like in a drama, you become demons. It's said that this pastime is a reflection. It's like a reflective pastime. In fact, Prabhupada writes, it is a completely mistaken idea if one thinks that in every millennium, Jai and Vijay, that's the name of the gatekeepers, fall down into the material world as demons. They do not. He said, it's only in 1 millennium this happens. Only 1 millennium. So we still got a chance, he said, to become Hiranyakashipu. In other millenniums, he said, it's actually demons who take the role. But in this particular incident, it is the eternal associates of the Lord, and I think it's in the commentary, I'm not sure, maybe Vishwanath, describes that actually they simply expanded themselves. They remained in their position, and they had expanded forms like reflections which appeared as Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, etc. But they remain eternally situated. Although from our perspective, we're learning, you could say, the aspect that, we have to be careful about offending devotees for sure. And from the Brahminical point of view, we have to be careful not to get too puffed up being a Brahmin. We can look at it different ways. I'm going to curse you. You didn't give me what I wanted. A different way you can look at that. But it was the Lord's arrangement. You can say I haven't got that here, but I don't think I have. But in the Bhagavatam, it describes that, how the Lord said, don't worry, my dear gatekeepers, without fear, take this position, accept the curse, off you go. And we'll have some fun. Some extraordinary pastimes were about to unfold. So by the divine arrangement of the Lord through the Kumaras, this wonderful pastime, which is so significant and so pleasing to isn't it incredible? It's such a pleasing pastime. It sounds gory, it sounds horrible at times. Tortures are going on, child abuse. I mean, talk about child abuse. I mean, woof, this is like the extreme of child abuse practically. Well, not exactly. Even there was no sexual abuse, you could say, but every other kind of abuse was there. Extreme, which we might hear about. But ultimately, it brings ecstasy and freedom. It can also bring, one of the wonderful things about the pastimes of Krishna in all of his forms is that these pastimes can help free us of the various, you could say, crimes or anarthas that we see manifested by certain persons in these anarthas. In this case, Hiranyakashipu and his party. Our own anarthas can be crushed by hearing these pastimes attentively. And attentive hearing means also submissive hearing, which means application, not just repetition, but application of what we hear. Sometimes we're good at repeating what we hear, but not applying it in our own lives. So the change of heart does not take place. The knowledge also has to be applied, very slowly otherwise, lifetimes. So that was that little scene. And then the two gatekeepers, I remember when I first joined, one of the first tapes, Golden Avatar tapes I remember hearing as I was making incense, we would listen to this story of how Jai and Vijay fell down into the universe. Some kind of special sounds. It was so fascinating. And they entered into the universe. And as you know, when you don't know, or you do know, whatever it is, but what happened, they entered into the universe. And just by their entry into the universe, the whole universe became affected, like a dark cloud, inauspicious omens everywhere. Everything became depressing, very depressed. Everyone was wondering what's going on. Anyway, there's a little story before this incident, and this depicts that little story. It's a love scene. Every drama has a love scene. Huh? In dramas, there are different aspects which must be in dramas, and love scene is generally one of the. I mean, some dramas maybe, but there are certain scenes. Generally, there's a love scene in all dramas: humor, love, and espionage, horror. Different things have to get in there, different rasas. So there's a love scene here, and who are these two personalities? Yes, Kashyapa and Diti. We heard about yesterday Aditi, and today we're hearing about Diti. Bhava Sindhu Prabhu was talking about Aditi yesterday. They are two sisters, and they're both married to Kashyapa. And Aditi is the mother of the demigods, and Diti is the mother of the Daityas. Huh? The Daityas are the demons. The demons. My demons. The demons. So, well, that doesn't mean she's a demon, she's not. But that's her duty, her role. Funny role, you could say, but someone has to do it. And so she is, all by the arrangement of the Lord, her husband is performing his meditation and his pujas and so on. And just at that moment, she became irresistibly overwhelmed with lust, sex desire. Cupid shot his arrow, powerful arrow, you could say, into her heart, like irresistible. She couldn't control it. Nothing could. I don't know if anyone's ever had that experience. You just can't. Nothing can stop you. It just got to do it. It's like complete, uninterrupted desire. Almost like unalloyed desire almost. And she went to her husband to fulfill her desire. And others may or may not do that nowadays. But she went to her husband and begged and begged and begged and appealed in every way she could. Her husband said, no, this is a very, very inauspicious time. Please, no, no, no. Yes, yes, yes. No, no. Yes, yes. You know, like kids sometimes, isn't it? They want something. No, no. Yes, yes. And eventually he succumbed to her appeals. And they had union. And at that inauspicious time, just at the moment the sun had set, Lord Shiva and his hordes of ghosts and hobgoblins and so on are on the march. They're out for their evening stroll. And most inauspicious time. But that was the time arranged, and everything arranged, early days of the universe, arranged for the appearance of these two Jai and Vijay, fell into this universe, and they entered into the womb of Diti. And in due course of time, she became pregnant, of course, and as the pregnancy grew, more and more the whole universe was, everything was going all over the place. Terrible things were happening. The demigods were shaking, and there were terrible, terrible omens everywhere. Storms and all kinds of nasty things were happening. And they appealed to Lord Brahma, and they went to Lord Vishnu and so on. And anyway, it was such a scene, and he assured them, not to worry. But anyway, these great demons were growing in strength. They took birth. At the moment of their birth in the universe, there were earthquakes and tidal waves and storms everywhere. The whole universe was in terrible condition. Epidemics, all sorts of things, pandemics, everything was going on, full on. And anyway, they grew and grew and grew. And they became so powerful, so powerful. They were conquering the universe. Hiranyaksha was although he came out of the womb first, he was the younger one, because the older, if there's twins, the second one out is the older one, because he's the first one in, and the second one out. So Hiranyakashipu was older than Hiranyaksha, so he came out second. But Hiranyaksha considered himself the younger brother. So on his behalf of his brother, he was going everywhere and conquering the demigods, and everywhere the demons were conquering the universe. The demigods appealed to the Lord. The earth planet had fallen into the lower regions of the universe. Please save the world. Please save us. Everyone was in very distraught condition. So the Lord he appeared. He assured them he would appear to deal with the difficulty, and he appeared in this wonderful form of who? Lord Baraha. Sometimes we see his representatives nearby around here. Wild boar. We see wild boar sometimes in the forest. And he appeared in this unique form, and a great battle ensued. And eventually he killed Hiranyaksha. Long story. But he killed him, and Hiranyakashipu, his elder brother, was enraged. Is this Vishnu, my avowed enemy, has killed my brother? He was so angry. All the members of the family were overwhelmed with lamentation. And there's a very interesting chapter how Hiranyakashipu calmed them all down and preached very nicely about the eternal nature of the soul and how everything goes on by providence, and you shouldn't get so disturbed by all of this. You're not the body. He went on and on, preached nice philosophy. Just straight from the Bhagavad Gita. The only thing missing was Krishna. Everything else was good. He's the original, Prabhupada talks about these rascals who write their own Bhagavad Gitas or interpret their own Bhagavad Gitas. Hiranyakashipu is the guru or the acharya of these type of people, basically. He did the same thing. He preached them like anything, Not your body, everything's spirit. Why are you getting so uptight? Everything's going on like this and that. Preached so nicely. Modes of nature. He preached the whole thing. And they were calmed down. But he was determined now. He had a really good excuse. That so-called Vishnu, the enemy of our family. And so he thought, I'm going to kill that Vishnu. So he thought, if I can... He wanted to become Lord Brahma, actually. He thought Brahma was the greatest in the universe. He wanted to become Brahma because he conquered basically all the other planes of the universe. Just Shiva, Brahma, and Vishnu were beyond him. But he thought Brahma. He thought he'd become, by performing great austerities, that I can become Brahma. So he went. He left his kingdom. He left his family. His wife Kayadu was even pregnant at the time he left. And where did he go? Not quite like nowadays, sometimes men leave their family. He had a different purpose. Where did he go?
Forest.
Went to the forest. Be careful if you go down the forest today. Where did he go? I went to the valley of the Mandara mountain. And what did he do there? He performed austerities. Boing. And what is he doing? You can't see what he's doing. Oh, you can see the back of the screen. Okay, everything's back to front. What is he doing?
Austerities.
He's in kirtan. There's a kirtan going on. That's what's happening. Where's Nitai Sachi Sudha? He's not here. He should be leading the kirtan. Hiranyakashipu, look, he's really fired up. He's up and he's fired. He's fired, that means fired up. Whoa. He's performing austerities. Look at him. Skinny. He looks like he needs some prasadam.
Some water.
He's standing on... What's he doing?
One leg.
No, that's Dhruva. Tips of his toes. And his arms are stretched up to the sky, and he's looking up into the sky, and he stood there. What's he trying to do? Some protest, maybe. What's he trying to do?
Become a ballet dancer.
Huh?
Become a ballet dancer. Ballet dancer.
A ballet dancer. Okay, I didn't know that. He's really good at it. He stayed there, for how many days? Years. Approximately 22,000 years of Earth on the Earth planet. Too much? Not for him. And you can see fire coming out of his hair. It's described in Bhagavatam. Fire coming out of his hair. And that fire was actually so powerful, it was going throughout the whole universe. The oceans were going up and down. The mountains were rock. Everything was topsy-turvy. The demigods were gasping for breath. They were like boiling hot, just like we've been here at New Mayapur for the last few weeks, boiling hot with the heat of the castle and the weather. It's just almost unbearably hot. So the universe was like that, boiling hot, boiling. And they're going, help! They're going to Lord Brahma, help! This is what's going on around here. What's happening? Help us! And Lord Brahma said, oh, okay. What's happening? Okay. He knew what was going on, of course. He knew everything that was happening. So he said, come on, let's go then, let's go and do something. So they all went down, the demigods of the Bhrigu Muni and this one and that one. They went down to the Mandara mountain to see what's going on there. They could see this was the source, the epicenter of the problems. And they went there, searching, but they couldn't find anything. There seemed to be nobody there. And eventually Lord Brahma could detect where he was. And he travels on a Swan Airlines. And he came there, and lo and behold, he found Hiranyakashipu. And there he is. Hiranyakashipu had been performing these austerities, and his body had become covered over by an ant hill. Yeah. We heard the other day how Lord Jagannath became covered over by an ant hill in Mayapur. But miraculously enough, he was still alive. How was that? The ants and other creatures had eaten, the moths and so on, had eaten all the flesh of his body. Everything's gone. The skin, the flesh, only the bones are left. And he was maintaining his life within the bones. Oh my God. He was such a powerful yogi. He wasn't just some kind of useless demon like you have nowadays. He was really powerful yogi. He was just an anti-God. Yeah. So he was maintaining himself within those bones somehow or another. And then Lord Brahma detected his whereabouts, and with his drops of water from his kamandalu, he sprinkled them. He said, now I'm pleased, because Lord Hiranyakashipu was trying to get a boon from him. So he was actually meditating on Lord Brahma. Come, I want a boon. Demons do this sort of thing, horrible kinds of sacrifices to get their results. So Lord Brahma said, what do you want then? He sprinkled some water. Hiranyakashipu's body became like strong as iron. His limbs became, even thunderbolts would bounce off of them. So strong, powerful. And so Lord Brahma offered him boon. You can ask, what do you want? Why are you doing all of this? Ask for a boon. And what did he ask for?
Immortality.
Immortality, yes. And what did Lord Brahma say? I can't give you immortality. Why? Exactly. So if we haven't got something, how can we give it?
Oh, Maharaj, I have a question about this.
Really?
Yes, because, no immortality, but the other day one devotee told me, I can't give blessing to another devotee because she was thinking she was not. But I was thinking the blessing we can give, it means all the time because Krishna is acting this. No, what?
Yeah. Well, what are the blessings of a Vaishnava? It's a good point. Okay, so I don't know if we could talk on that, but it's going to take quite a while.
Yeah, okay.
But just to give you a little quick summary, because there's a lot more to it. One time, I asked long time ago, Burijan Prabhu that. It's more or less the same question. And he said he had heard because he said the same thing to a very, very great devotee. Well, I think he's a great devotee. It wasn't Srila Prabhupada he asked, but he asked one of Prabhupada's godbrothers who was very dear to Prabhupada. And this devotee said, I am not qualified to give blessings, but I am going to pray to my Guru Maharaj to bless you. So that's one way of looking at it. I'll talk to you more about it. So, yes, he wanted boons. Immortality, didn't have it, can't give it. So what did Hiranyakashipu do? Oh, God, I've just wasted 22,000 years for nothing. Well, I've got a strong body, at least, anyway. I can be Mr. Universe. What did he do?
He told him, okay, you will not die by an animal or by a...
Well, he asked him, didn't he? He said, okay, all right. Grant me that I will not die in the day or the night. Lord Brahma said, that's all right. Grant me that I will not be killed by any man, no creature created by you, no demigods. That's fine. You can have it. Grant me that I will not be killed by any weapon. Yes, that's okay. Grant me, I will not be killed. In or out of the house. No problem. What else did he ask? Oh, grant me that I will not be killed on the land, in the air, or in the sea. Easy. What else? Huh? We said weapons.
Inside.
Huh?
Inside.
We said that already. You're not listening.
Not in the day.
I said both those already.
Not in the day, no in the night.
We said that already.
Okay. We said everything.
Nothing dead, nothing living.
No what?
No creature created by you or not created by you. Weapons we mentioned. Maybe one or two other details. These boons are very difficult to grant, but I grant them to you. And Lord Brahma went back to Brahmalok. Hiranyakashipu thought, now I am infallible. No one can kill me. Vishnu, wait, just wait. I'm ready. So all this time, thousands of years, he'd been away from home. And meanwhile, Kayadu, his wife, she was pregnant. And the demigods thought, my God, this Hiranyakashipu is too much. But the child in his womb, what's he going to be like? So Indra and the demigods went to attack the kingdom of Hiranyakashipu. And all the demons were killed or driven away because Hiranyakashipu was not there. They arrested Kayadu, and their idea was to take her away, and when the child was born, to kill the child. So on the way, lo and behold, who did they meet? Narada Muni. Stop, O Devas. What are you doing? And then they explained. Said, no, do not touch this lady. Within her womb is a great devotee. And Narada Muni told them, I will look after this lady until the time comes when the child is born, or when time comes when Hiranyakashipu returns, but you leave her with me. So he took her to his ashram, and he was speaking Krishna Katha, Krishna consciousness, philosophy, and there we go. In the ashram of Narada Muni, he was speaking philosophy. Now it's said that Kayadu wasn't really so fixed and tuned into it all, but in the womb, that little baby was absorbing everything, hearing from Narada Muni. And when, of course, then Narada Muni returned, and now everybody, the funny thing about Narada, the demons like Narada Muni also, they like him. He's also one of their favorites. Somehow or another, he's got this way with demons and demigods. So he returned the wife to Hiranyakashipu, and she gave birth to a child, and that child was one of the 4 primary sons of Hiranyakashipu, and his name was Prahlad. Asked their child what you've learned at school. They said this. I think the parents would flip out. Right? I mean, my mother asked me when I was about 12 years old, what do you want to be when you grow up? I said, I want to be a monk. And she went bananas. No, rubbish. Don't talk like this nonsense. He was going on. I can still remember it. You don't remember much, but very prolific things you kind of remember. You know, that was one of them. And anyway, so that was a little bit too much. Hearing and chanting about the transcendental holy name, form, qualities, paraphernalia, and pastimes of Lord Vishnu. Remembering them, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering the Lord respectful worship with 16 types of paraphernalia, offering prayers to the Lord, becoming his servant, considering the Lord one's best friend, and surrendering everything unto him. These 9 processes are accepted as pure devotional service. One who has dedicated his life to the service of Krishna through these 9 methods should be understood to be the most learned person, for he has acquired complete knowledge. What is this? Sunda! Amarka! What have you been teaching my son? You rascals! I have enemies in my own camp. He didn't blame Prahlad, he blamed Sunda and Amarka. You nonsense. Sunda and Amarka, oh, my Lord, no, please. We didn't teach him these things. They didn't come from us. Then if it didn't come from you, where is it coming from? Him, not from us, him. Prahlad, explain what's going on. And then the last one. Matirna Krishna Paratak Svatova Mito Vipadyeta Grihavatanam Adanta Gobi Vishatam Tamishwam Punak Punaschavata Charvananam. Prahlad said, because of their uncontrolled senses, persons too addicted to materialistic life make progress towards hellish conditions and repeatedly chew that which has already been chewed. Their inclinations towards Krishna are never aroused, either by the instructions of others, by their own efforts, or by a combination of both. Nate vidu svartagatim hi vishnum durashayaye bahirartamanina. Prahlad goes on. Persons who are strongly entrapped by the consciousness of enjoying material life and who have therefore accepted as their leader or guru a similar blind man attached to external sense objects cannot understand that the goal of life is to return home back to Godhead and engage in the service of Lord Vishnu. As blind men guided by another materially attached man, led by another materially attached man, are bound by the ropes of fruitive labor, which are made of very strong cords, and they continue again and again in materialistic life, suffering the threefold miseries. You can imagine how Hiranyakashipu was taking this. Oh, really? Oh, thank you, Prahlad. Oh, that's really interesting. I've never heard that before. You're very kind to me. No, he may have said that in yes, Prahlad, this is very interesting. Unless they smear upon their bodies the dust of the lotus feet of a Vaishnava, completely freed from material contamination, persons very much inclined toward materialistic life cannot be attached to the lotus feet of the Lord, who is glorified for his uncommon activities. Only by becoming Krishna conscious and taking shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord in this way can one be freed from material contamination. Whew. And he went on, quite heavy preaching, and Hiranyakashipu was not a very... sometimes you go on Sankirtan and people push you away. I remember one time, it just came to mind, I was in Malaysia, and in our temple there's a church next door to our temple. So when they opened, I thought I'd go there just to nice to be next door neighbors. I went to the door, somebody came to the door, and as I was going up the steps, they came out and they saw me and they went, boom, and pushed me down the steps like this. Go away! Get out! You're not allowed! Pushed me down the stairs like that. Very love thy neighbour as thyself type of mood. And so in this way, Hiranyakashipu kind of reacted, although it was his own son. Can you imagine how angry he was? My own son, the one most dear to me. It's not like that, actually, when those who are most dear to us cause us pain. It's most painful. And he thrust his son off of his lap to the ground. You rascal! Ah! Threw him down. Take this boy away and kill him! He ordered the guards. Take him away! He's a thorn in the side of it. He's the enemy of our family. Meningitis. He's like a disease of meningitis in the head. Take him away. Kill him. I'm so angry. The guards took him away, and they tried everything they could to kill him. They tried to pierce him with their tridents and their swords. Took him into caverns. Kill the Prahlad. Kill him, kill him, kill, kill, kill. They could get nowhere. Prahlad was completely peaceful. Prahlad, he's always self-satisfied. Why? How? What was his secret? Did he have some magic, or what did he have? Devotion. And what was he doing? Praying. Particularly, what was he praying? Huh? Yeah, he wasn't even asking for anything. He was just meditating on Vishnu, Lord Vishnu. Meditating on the Lord of his heart. Completely, whatever you want to do with me, my Lord. He was absorbed. Krishna can kill me or protect me, whatever you wish to do, my Lord. I am yours, as we heard from Baba Sindhu yesterday also, in that beautiful song. Manasa deho geho yo kichumo. Now, everything is yours. You can take it away if you wish, my Lord. Everything belongs to you. You're completely absorbed. Completely absorbed. No one could harm him. Krishna protecting Prahlad, as we heard the other day also. Not just protecting the body, protecting our consciousness. So we don't become reactive. I'll get my own back on these people. If I ever get out of here, I'll get revenge. That's another worse than being punished danger. Tendency is there. Anger comes up, revenge, grudges, you name it. So Prahlad was not like that. He was completely peaceful. He held no heart, didn't feel bad about anyone. They're trying everything they can. Kill him! Kill him! Kill him! Kill him! They couldn't do it. They gave up. All right, Hiranyakashipu, put him in the fire. Get rid of him. Throw him in the fire. Still he didn't die. What's going on with this kid? Put him under elephants. Smash him to pieces. They could do nothing. African elephants, big ones with big feet. The elephants, they couldn't go. Their feet wouldn't go on him. They just couldn't go. Okay, throw him off the cliff. Fierce, piercing, razor-like rocks on the ground. Threw him to the ground. And unseen to all, Lord Vishnu just caught him in his embrace. What to do with this boy? Snakes! Throw him in a pit of deadly snakes! Snakes could do nothing, just other than hiss and spit, but nothing touched Prahlad. He tried many things, putting him on an island with fierce storms and winds, exposed to all kinds of hail and stones. Nothing harmed him. Poison, give him poison! Come on, get it together. Come on, put it in the food. Come on, more, give him more poison. They tried to kill him with poison. Come on, Prahlad. I'm really sorry, Prahlad, for all the things we've been doing to you. Please accept this nice food. Here, have a nice meal. Come on, eat up. Haven't been eating for a few days. Come on. Eat. Come on, Prahlad, my dear son, my beautiful, darling son. Please forgive me for whatever I didn't mean it. Eat. Prahlad said, let me first have to offer it to my Lord. Oh, God. All right. Prahlad's happily eating away. Nothing's happening. There's not even a hiccup. There was enough poison there to kill the whole universe, practically. Oh, my God, what are we going to do with this boy? What's happening here? Oh, helpless. I've conquered everyone in the universe. Hiranyakashipu would have conquered the heavenly planets. Indra and everyone else had to run for their lives in the presence of Hiranyakashipu. He'd taken over the heavenly planets. He was sitting in the seat of Indra. But his own son, he couldn't conquer his own son. It was just overwhelming. And he was becoming almost depressed. The teachers came. No, don't worry. This is not a problem. Give us another go. We will solve this problem. Give him back to us. We will make him see the truth. You are unconquerable. Don't forget, you've conquered all the demigods. You have infallible boons. What do you have to fear from a mere boy? He can speak what he likes, but you have nothing to fear from him. Don't worry. You give him back to us. We will deal with this problem. So Hiranyakashipu gave him back to the teachers. And they tried very hard to educate him in Dharma, Artha, and Kama. The three most and only important things in life. Even Dharma, the demons, they also have they do yagyas, they have their gurus, they follow various vratas, they observe various, they do all sorts of things. They give charity. All things are mentioned in the Vedas. They follow mostly. They just don't worship Krishna as God, that's for sure. So they taught him, they tried everything they could to bring him around, to make him see the light, enlighten him in the real business of a prince, of a human being. So Prahlad Maharaj, he was very gentle and submissive in many ways, or he didn't agree. Prabhupada said that to Gargamuni, when your mother starts preaching to you, you have to give up Krishna consciousness. You say, yes, 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 mother, yes, 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 mother, yes, 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 mother, but you don't do it. So he was, yes, 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 yes. But he wasn't interested at all in it, but they were, going on. And while the teachers were not looking, tiffin break, they call it in India, what was Prahlad doing? Preaching to the boys. Where did you get this, Prahlad Maharaj? Where did you get that? You're one of us. We're all like brothers. We haven't heard what you're telling us. Where have you got that from? Then he told them the story of Narada, how he heard in the womb and this and that. They were fascinated. Very fascinated. He was preaching. There's a long section in there where he preaches, and this is the first verse. Komara charet pragyo dharmam bhagavataniha durlabhang manusham janma tarapya dhruvamartadam. Prahlad Maharaj said, one who is sufficiently intelligent should use the human form of body from the very beginning of life. In other words, from the tender age of childhood, to practice the activities of devotional service. Giving up all other engagements, the human body is most rarely achieved. And although temporary like other bodies, it is meaningful because in human life one can perform devotional service. Even the slight amount of sincere devotional service can give one complete perfection. There's a whole chapter practically of his teaching the boys. To such an extent they became pretty much convinced. And they all started to dance and chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now, if you want, you can ask them to hold up the deity worship a little bit, because we can finish it in probably 15 minutes. Otherwise, that's the end. It's 9:13. Kind of nice way to end, but there's only about 15 minutes left. Otherwise, we have to do a drama this evening, which we can also do. Well, we can and we can't. It depends. I would say we can do it. I can't say we will do. In a sense, we know how much time and energy we have. No one's even... The devotee who was supposed to set on the drama didn't say they would definitely do it, but they haven't turned up. They can't come. They've got another program. So no one is there, but let's see. Krishna. So then all the boys are starting to sing Krishna's name, and sure enough, Sandra and Lamarca become aware of what's going on. Oh God! Oh no! Well, it was just Prahlad. Now it's all the boys. He's converted them all to Vaishnavas. This is the end of the world. This is like a fate worse than death. Oh no! It's like disaster, total disaster. So this is it. They just grabbed Prahlad and they dragged him off to Hiranyakashipu, explaining what's going on. Hiranyakashipu was enraged. Oh, okay. These are from some cartoon book. I couldn't find, if anyone ever wants to really do something good, they could paint all these different scenes, because this is just from some it was the cartoon book done by a devotee, but not, obviously they're very quick with the paintings. They're very simple paintings. Hiranyakashipu, when he heard from Sandanamarka what was going on in the school, his anger became absolutely uncontrollable. Oh, most impudent boy. Most unintelligent disruptor of the family. Lowest of mankind. You have violated my power to rule you. And therefore, you are an obstinate fool. Today, where is he? Where is Prahlad? Where is he gone? He ran away. Today, I will send you to the place of Yamaraj. Tell me, Prahlad. Tell me, you say your God is everywhere and he will protect you. So tell me, Prahlad, is your God in that pillar? Where's like, hey, Bruno, you're a good Nrsimha, Dave. Come on. Bruno, behind the pillar. You're skinny but big and strong. Hide behind the pillar. Now, who are you? What are you doing? Who are you? Who are you?
Me?
Yeah.
Like I'm Nrsimha.
Oh, okay, that's good. Okay. Make sure you don't knock anyone over. You may have to move, Aristanasa, otherwise you might get knocked. You're okay, ladies. You don't need to move. You'll come out one side. Prahlad! Tell me, Prahlad. Prahlad? Is your God in that pillar? Prahlad replied to his loving dad, yes, Father. My worshipful Lord is present in the pillar also. Don't do anything I tell you, okay? I mean, last time we did this, he jumped out like 5 minutes too early. It was really an anticlimax. Don't do anything to like make a loud noise, okay? And actually, it's described, I think I'm not sure, one of the commentators said, Prahlad was actually seeing, Nrsimha was actually poking his head out behind the pillars saying, don't worry, I'm here. So Prahlad was completely confident he was there. So Hiranyakashipu, well, your God is in this pillar? Okay, Prahlad, He got up from his throne. Actually, he picked up his sword. I don't know why they've written this. He picked up his sword, according to his Bhagavatam, swirling around. Prahlad, today, Prahlad, I will see how your God will save you. I will sever your head with my sword. Usually the kids cry. This one laughs. And then, with his fist, not with his sword, Hiranyakashipu went to the pillar. Let me see, Prahlad, if your Lord is really present in this pillar. And he went to the pillar with his fist, and he smashed his fist on the pillar, and with an almighty roar, all together, come on. Roar, come on, roar, roar, roar. Nope. That moment, from within the pillar, came a fierce, stay there, here he is, Prahlad, came a fearful sound, a great rumbling. You can roar, Bruno, you can roar, roar, which seemed to crack the covering of the universe. The pillar cracked and burst asunder. From within the pillar appeared Lord Nrsimha in his half-man, half-lion form, which was most wonderful to behold.
Where is
Lord Nrsimha, in his many-armed form, stood in front of Hiranyakashipu, who looked at the Lord. Hiranyakashipu was not afraid. He thought, what is this strange creature that has appeared out of the column? He was astonished. That fearful Lord, Nrsimha, whose form was as dazzling as millions of rising suns, and his fiery eyes were filled with anger. See those eyes, huh? Fierce. Ooh. Hiranyakashipu, seeing this form before him, realized that this was his avowed enemy, and assailed the Lord with his club. Although this painting has his sword and shield, with his club he assailed the Lord, and the great fight began. Where is our Hiranyakashipu? Where is he? He's run away. He's scared.
Yeah, he's scared.
Where is he? Who's willing to be Hiranyakashipu? Come on. Who's a good fighter? Now you will have to move at this point in time a little bit. Who's a good fighter? Are you a good fighter? Okay, come over here. Come over here. Now the arena, here you go. You, if you can move back a little bit, because this is their arena. Don't knock over the computer, please. So, Hiranyakashipu assailed Lord Nrsimha with his club. They fought and fought and fought. Lord Nrsimha grabbed him in his arms. Lord Nrsimha grabbed him. You've got to grab him in your arms. Grab him. In his arms, he grabbed him. Suddenly, Hiranyakashipu slipped out of his arms, whoof, and flew up. Come on, you out of his arms, move around, jump around, spin around, go over there. Run around, don't stay still. Behind the column, get behind the column. Round you come again. Punch him, fist, boom, boom. And this Nrsimha, rah, rah, rah. Pick up you get, Hiranyakashipu. You're not dead yet. Up you get. Lord Nrsimha grabbed Hiranyakashipu in his arms. Picked him up in his arms. Pick him up. Underneath. Put them underneath. No, he's not doing it. Anyways, whatever he's supposed to put the arms underneath and hook him up. Lord Nrsimha picked Hiranyakashipu up with his arms and slammed him on his lap And with his fist, with his fingernails, he ripped the abdomen. Ah! 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 Of Hiranyakashipu's gut, tore him asunder, and threw him on the ground. Keep roaring, keep roaring, keep roaring. One by one, demons came to attack Lord Nrsimhadev. Come on, come and attack him, sunshine. Yeah, with a balloon. That's the way to attack Lord Nrsimhadev. Come on, other boys. Come on, come on, Baba Sindhu, come on. You're going to go and attack Lord Nrsimhadev. Don't be shy. Take your glasses off. Go and attack him. Come on. Come on, Bhima. Come on, get up there. Yeah, there we got a real. And Lord Nrsimhadev, one by one, captured the demons, ripping off their heads. Ah! You have to rip their heads off. Okay? Come on, Ristarasa, you're a good demon. Come on, up you go. Attack him. Yeah, attack him. All the you? No, you're not. Come on, this is a friend of Prahlad. They said actually, Hiranyakashipu was acting because he's a friend of the devotees. I think Sridhar Maharaj says that because he's such a friend of the devotees, he took this position to make such pleasure to all the devotees, to bring pleasure and protect all the devotees. All the demons came one after the other. Millions of demons came with their swords, clubs, weapons to attack Nrsimhadev. Hey, he got you. He caught your whole hand there. Rip his head off, Nrsimhadev. Get his head. Rip his head off. Yeah, there you got it. Out the window. Yeah, he's gone. Got rid of that one. Who else we got over here? Who else we got in the room here? Hey, anyone else? Boring. Keep your head on there, so you don't lose your head. The battle went on. Eventually, all the demons were scattered and dead. Finished. Everything became calm. And then, but Lord Nrsimhadev was still roaring. I won. He's still not happy. One by one, the demigods. Now you must be a demigod, Baba Sindhu. Come on. Up you come. You've got 4 heads. Up you come. Lord Brahma came to try. Lord Nrsimhadev still very angry. You're still very angry. Lord Brahma came. Come this way, please. Or that, whichever way you can get him. But just don't knock the computer over or the projector. Praying to Lord Nrsimhadev. Please, you don't become settled. You're still very angry. He does not help you at all.